Hi, my name is Melissa. I'll be taking you through your classes this semester. Welcome to Youth Yoga. Be sure that you have a mat or a beach towel with you. Be sure that you're wearing comfortable clothing and have some water nearby. We're going to start rolled down onto our back for a little bit of warm up and some breathing work. So when you're ready, go ahead and roll down onto your back. We'll keep our knees bent and have the soles of our feet on the mat. You can rest your hands on your belly or next to your body, whatever you're most comfortable with. Take a minute just to transition into class today by breathing deeply in and out through the nose. With every breath in, try to lengthen your back on your mat. And with every exhale, we're sinking down and relaxing, letting the muscles release. As you're getting some deep breaths, take a moment to scan through your body from head to toe, noticing any stress or tension that you brought with you to class today. Maybe it's in your shoulders, maybe it's in your legs, your hands, your jaw. Take a minute to just scan through the body and notice. If you do find any areas of tightness, take a minute to use your exhale. Use your breath out to try to relax that specific muscle group. We'll stay here for about 4 more breath cycles. So 1 inhale and 1 exhale equals 1 breath cycle. When you're ready, extend your left leg all the way down onto the mat. The right knee pulls up into the ribs. We're using our hands to support the shin, so we're drawing that knee up as high as we comfortably can. You can keep your foot still, or you can point and flex the foot if you want to add a little bit of a warm-up for your shin or your calf. Bringing that foot to stillness, we're opening our arms out to a T. Palms are down. Take your right knee and cross it up and over to the left side of your body. It's not important that your knee or your foot touch the ground. We're simply stacking the hips on top of each other. So the right hip should be directly on top of the left hip. The right shoulder blade sinks down into the mat, and we slowly turn the head to the right. So we're looking away from the legs. Good, bringing that head back to center. Go ahead and bring the hip back down onto the mat. We're extending the right leg all the way up, and we're flexing the foot so the sole of the foot points to the ceiling. Take your hands behind your right leg and draw it in just an inch or two so that you feel a good stretch through your hamstring. Two more deep breaths. Good, we're bringing that right leg all the way down onto the mat. Now we're drawing our left knee up into our ribs, doing that same thing. Get a few nice deep breaths here. You can be still, or you can point and flex the foot, whatever you're more comfortable with. Taking 2 more deep breaths in and out through the nose. Good, bring that foot to stillness. Open your arms out to a T, palms are down. Cross the knee up and over to the right side of the body. So the left hip is directly on top of the right hip. The left shoulder blade sinks down, and we turn our head looking over the left fingertips. Two more deep breaths. Good, coming back to center. Extend that left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. Flex the foot. Hold the hands behind the leg and draw it towards the body 1 to 2 inches. Good. Go ahead and bring that leg all the way down. Both of our knees are bent. The soles of the feet are on the mat. Arms are next to the body. Palms are down. Take a deep breath in through the nose. As you breathe out, ground into your feet and start to peel your back up off the mat. So start down at the tailbone and just gently lift the spine. We're coming all the way up to the shoulders. Pause once you're at your highest range of motion, and then slowly work your way back down. Good. We're doing that same thing 3 more times. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, ground into your feet. Start to lift your back. Pause. And work your way back down. Good. We have 2 more to go. Continue to work with your breath, using that exhale to lift. We're strengthening the glutes, the hamstrings, and the low back here while getting an opening through the hip flexors. Good. Last time, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, ground into your feet, lifting. And work your way back down. Nice job. Once your back is all the way down onto the mat, roll to your side and press yourself up. We'll be coming into a tabletop. So we're stacking the joints on top of each other. Shoulders are over the elbows. Elbows are over the wrists. We've got our fingers spread apart nice and wide, and the knees are directly underneath the hip bones. We're starting with a cat-cow stretch. So drop the belly, lift the chin. Take a deep breath in. When you're ready to breathe out, round your back. Tucking your tailbone, dropping your chin. Look towards the belly and poof or round through the shoulders. And then drop the belly, lift the chin, breathing in. Good. Exhale and round. Two more times. And that final time, taking a breath in to cow, releasing the low back, and then rounding into cat, stretching the shoulders. Good. From here, come back to a straight tabletop back. We're taking our right foot and stepping it forward. Hands come up to the hips. We've got our hips stacked over the knee is stacked over the ankle. We have wide open ribs. And then from here, we're walking that foot forward just a little bit. So scooch the right foot forward and then press the hips forward. Again, this is the hip flexor group here. We're getting a good opening and a good stretch through the hip flexors. We're grounding or pushing into that front foot. 2 more deep breaths. Good. Stack your hip back on top of your knee. Scoot your front foot back slightly. The left arm extends up. The right arm stays down. We're bending our left elbow and crossing the hand toward the right shoulder blade. Take your right hand, reach it up and over, and open through the left side of the body. Staying grounded and planted through the legs. On your next breath out, go ahead and drop your hands down, come back into your tabletop, and change sides. The left foot steps forward, hands are at the hips. Walk the left foot to the front of your mat slightly, And then when you're ready, press the hips forward. So the tailbone points down. Shoulders stay relaxed, drawing back towards your spine. Two more deep breaths. Pressing into that front foot, line your hips back up over your knee. Take a deep breath in, send the right arm all the way up. The left arm relaxes, bending the right elbow, cross towards your left shoulder blade. Take your left hand up and over, opening and expanding through the right side of the body. Two more deep breaths. Good. Go ahead and drop those hands down. We're back into a tabletop, and we're getting ready for a down dog. So we're tucking both of our feet, and we're sending the tailbone straight up to the ceiling so that we're shaped like a tent or like an upside down letter V. Get a few breaths here, pressing into the heels, pushing the hands forward. We're coming into what's called a down dog split. So take your right toes, point them to the back, lift your right leg up as high as you're able to, and then bend your knee and sweep it forward, taking a giant step through. Keep your back foot just like it is. Ground into the feet and breathe in, sending the arms up. We're into a high lunge. Palms face each other. The back heel is probably not touching the mat, but we're pressing and anchoring into that back heel for some length in the back of the leg. The front knee is bent. One more deep breath. Now we're coming back to that down dog split. So use your exhale to bring your hands down to the mat. Take your right leg and shoot it straight back out behind the body, and then lower that leg down. Good. Drop down to your knees. We have one cat-cow. Drop the belly, lift the chin. And then exhale, round. Good. Come back to your tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift to your down dog. We're into a down dog split on the left. Point the left toes, lift the leg nice and high. Bend the knee, float it forward. Take that giant step through, ground into your hands and breathe in, or ground into your feet, and extend the arms up into a high lunge. Shoulder blades anchor down, fingertips extend. We're reaching through the top of the head, and we're grounding or pressing through the feet. Two more breaths. We're back to a down dog split. So use your exhale to bring those arms down. Palms come to the mat. Take your front leg, shoot it straight out behind, point your toe, and then drop into a down dog. Good. Both knees come down to the mat. That right foot comes forward. Take a breath in, sending both arms up. We're into a kneeling lunge. Stay with a nice deep breath. Palms come together. Exhale, lowering the hands down to the heart center. We're taking our left elbow and crossing it over just above the right knee. We want to get enough of a turn so that the hands are not floating up towards that top shoulder, but the hands are right in the middle of the ribs. Picking that elbow up, come back into your tabletop. One cat-cow here. Drop the belly, lift the chin, breathing in. Good. Exhale, round. Come back to a tabletop. Take that left foot. Step it through. Breathe in. Send both arms up. Palms face each other. Shoulder blades anchor. We're grounding into the front foot and the right shin. Palms come together, breathe out, drop the hands down to the heart center. Take that right elbow, cross it over and down, coming just above the left knee. Check your hands, make sure they're right in the middle of the ribs, not leaning up towards that shoulder. Two deep breaths here. Good. Picking up that elbow, hands come down. We're resting in a child's pose. So for child's pose, you can have your knees together with your arms in, bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat. Or another form of child's pose is to open the knees wide and extend the arms to the top of the mat, resting the forehead. You can also stack your fists on top of each other if it's not comfortable to get that low today. We'll stay here resting in child's pose for 6 to 8 breaths. Using that exhale to relax and sink down lower to the mat, letting go any tension through the body. Three more deep breaths. When you're ready, bring yourself back up. We're coming back into a tabletop. From a tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your down dog. We're back to that down dog split on the right. This time we're coming to a warrior one. So point your right toes to the back, lift that right leg nice and high, and then bend the knee, float it forward, take that big step through, and turn the back heel. Ground into the feet, breathe in, coming all the way up. So a high lunge is very similar to a warrior one. The difference is the foot placement. So my back heel is on the same line as my front heel. The back foot is just turned slightly. Once we're in warrior one, we want to activate the leg muscles. So press your feet away from each other, almost like you're trying to stretch out your mat. From here, we find a warrior two. So we're turning the hips to the long side of the mat. The feet stay just like they are, and the arms are parallel to the ground. We're looking out over the right fingertips. Reach your right arm to the front. Reach your left arm to the back. From the hips down, push. From the waist up, lift. Three more deep breaths. Turning to a warrior one, the hips turn back to the top of the mat. The arms extend up, palms face each other, feet stay planted just like they are. When you're ready, come back to your down dog. Breathing out, bring those arms out to the side, step your feet back, and get 2 deep breaths here. Good. Warrior one on the left. Point your left toe, lift up nice and high. Bend the knee, float it forward. Turning that back heel, we're coming all the way up to our warrior one. Heels are on the same line, feet press away from each other, shoulder blades pull down, fingertips extend. We've got a good bend in the front knee. Turning to a warrior two. Arms are parallel to the ground. Reach, extend, lift, anchor. Collarbones are wide and open. Keep your feet planted like they are. Turn the hips to the top of the mat. Arms come back up next to the ears. Palms face each other into a warrior one. Take 2 more deep breaths. Good. Breathing out, dive down to your down dog. Stepping those feet back, and we're pedaling the feet, pushing down one heel and then the other. Bringing the feet to stillness, get a bend in both knees, hop the feet forward, come all the way back up, circle sweep the arms. Good, exhale, dropping the arms down. We're shifting into a balancing airplane, so the weight comes to the right foot, the left foot steps to the back, arms are down, palms are open. We're starting to hinge forward so that the body is shaped like a capital letter T. Feel free to be near a wall so that you can use one hand to support your body if you feel off balance. If you fall out of the pose, just simply get right back into it. Two more deep breaths. Good. Lower that leg down. We're switching sides. Transfer your weight onto your left foot. The right foot steps back. Arms are down. Shoulders pull away from the ears. When you're ready, start to lift your right leg, pointing the toes, flying over the mat, coming as parallel as you can today. Two more deep breaths. Good. Lower that leg down. Shift your weight back to your right side. We're finding a tree. So the left leg comes onto the right leg. You can keep your foot down like a kickstand if you want. You can bring it up to your calf or bring it up higher to your thigh. We just don't want to push into the knee joint. I usually start with my palms in to help with balance. And once I feel stable, I extend the arms up. Keep the core tight. So squeeze through your belly. Two more breaths. Good. Slowly stepping out of that tree, switch sides. Shift your weight to your left foot. The right foot finds a spot anywhere but the knee. Palms start in. And once you're ready, extend up, keeping that knee and hip open to the side. Two more deep breaths. Good. Stepping that foot out. Feet are hips distance apart. We're coming to a chair. So we're bending the knees, but we're keeping them on top of the ankles. So we don't want to do this. This is a big misalignment. So keep your knees on top of your ankles and then send the arms up. Finding a comfortable range of motion. You can have just a tiny bend or you can be deeper into that chair squat. Most of our weight is into our heels, but our feet stay in contact with the mat. Take 3 deep breaths here. You can always bring your palms in if this feels better to your low back. Coming to a forward fold, we're straightening out the knees. We're dropping the hands down, letting them fall wherever they do, resting on your legs or down at the mat. When you're ready, bend both elbows and reach your opposite hand to your opposite elbow. Anchoring down, pushing down through the forearms. Two more breaths. Good. From here, we come to a high plank or a kneeling plank. So drop your hands down to the mat. Step your feet to the back. If you're into a high plank, the shoulders are directly over the wrists, fingers spread apart wide. Be careful not to drop your back down. That compresses the low spine. And be careful not to pop up. This puts strain on the head and the neck.
So we want a nice straight line. Another option is to have your knees down like you would in a tabletop and then push the hips forward. So this is a kneeling plank. So choose whichever one you want today, high plank or kneeling plank. We'll be staying here for 3 to 4 breaths. Good, knees come down. Sink back down into your child's pose, resting. We're staying here for 4 more breath cycles. When you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself back up into a tabletop. We're moving on to what's called a tricep push-up. These are a great way to build strength into the triceps, the backs of the arms. So start in your tabletop. Keep your fingers spread apart wide. The hips stay stacked over the knees, and it's a short stance between your hands. So we don't want those hands spread apart wide. Wrists are directly under the shoulders. We're hinging down, lowering the forehead down toward the ground, and then we're pressing right back up into a tabletop. The elbows point behind you, not popping out to the side. So this right here is incorrect. Think of a crocodile. You want crocodile arms, lowering that forehead down, and then press all the way back up. We've got 8 more. Keep your hips stacked on top of your knees. Good, 7. Finding a comfortable range of motion. 6, you can do just a tiny bend like this. 5, or you can come all the way down to the mat. 4. Good, elbows scrape against the ribs. 3. Here's 2. And 1. Nice job. Come all the way down to sitting, extending the legs out straight. Sit nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Reach those arms up. As you're ready to breathe out, start to fold forward. If your legs are tight today, bend your knees. That can also help support the low back. Couple nice deep breaths here. Good, coming back up to center. I'm going to turn facing the long side of the mat. So we're taking our right leg and we're tucking it in. The left leg crosses, but they don't overlap. So just have the right leg inside, the left leg outside. Sit nice and tall, breathe in. As you're ready to exhale, walk your hands forward, only coming as far forward as you can without rounding through the back. You should feel this stretch through the left hip. Take 3 more nice deep breaths. Good, press yourself back up to center. Do that same thing on the other side. So switch your legs, breathe in, lengthening. Good, exhale, walking those hands forward. Now we're getting that stretch through the right hip. Using that breath out to sink down and relax. Good, coming back up to center, we're into a butterfly stretch. The soles of the feet come together. Sit tall, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lead with your ribs, hinging forward. Keeping the head and the neck in line with the spine. So we don't want to drop the head down and we don't want to lift the head up. Keep a nice straight line in the head and the neck. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Good, pressing all the way up. We're opening those feet wide. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're reaching down towards our right foot. The left arm comes up and over, keeping the ribs wide and open. So we're making sure that we're not turning toward the ground and collapsing in, but stacking those shoulders on top of each other. Changing sides, that left arm reaches down toward the left foot. The right arm comes up and over into a side bend, keeping both hips planted on the ground. Good, back up to center. We take it to a tiny back bend. So bring your hands behind your body, lift your ribs up toward the ceiling, getting a stretch through that mid-back, the thoracic spine. And then come to center and hinge forward, keeping that straight back again. Two breaths. Good, pressing back up. We're going to roll onto our backs again, just like we did in the warm-up. We're coming to what's called a laying down pigeon or a figure four stretch. So the right leg extends, the foot is flexed, the left ankle crosses over the right knee. So your legs form the number 4. Reach down behind your right leg and draw both legs in. This is a great hip opener. So if you tend to carry tightness in your low back, this is helpful. 3 more deep breaths. Now we're bending our right knee. Keep your ankle crossed and plant the sole of your right foot onto the mat. Take your hands and very gently press your knee open. Stay with a nice deep breath. Good, uncross that ankle. Send the left leg up straight, flex the foot, the right ankle crosses over. Into our laying down pigeon, reach behind your legs and draw them in towards your ribs, trying to keep the tailbone low and close to the mat. Letting go of the legs, we're bending the left knee, the sole of the foot comes down to the mat. Use your right hand to gently press open that knee. Taking 2 to 3 deep breaths here. When you're ready, uncross your ankle. The soles of the feet plant on the mat. Hands can rest on the belly or next to the body with the palms up. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Our breathing practice today is called the equal ratio breath. So we'll be picking a count that's comfortable for us, usually counting to 3, 4, 5, or 6 in your mind. We're breathing in and out through the nose, and the inhale and the exhale are the exact same length. So say, for example, that you chose 4. Breathe in for 4. And breathe out for 4. And then again, breathe in through the nose for 4, or whatever number you chose. And exhale. Keep that equal ratio breath going. The reason that this breath is helpful is it brings some balance to our central nervous system. Our breathing directly affects the body's different responses like fight or flight versus relaxation. So when we take a minute to intentionally equal out the inhale and the exhale, we're bringing a calming, a grounding, a balance to the central nervous system. Keep going with a few more cycles of that equal ratio breath. And notice how your body starts to feel when you have the same amount of air coming in as going out. Stay stay with that breath, counting the inhale, counting the exhale. And start to intentionally let your different muscle groups relax. Make sure that you're not holding tension in the jaw. We're breathing in and out through the nose, but we've got some space between our rows of teeth. Shoulders are relaxed, pressing down into the mat. We'll stay here for 3 more breath cycles. Good. Transitioning on to the final relaxation. Remember, this is something for you to continue doing after the video is done. So make sure that you have a watch or a clock or a stopwatch nearby. The goal is anywhere from about 5 to 7 or 8 minutes. So we extend our legs all the way down onto the mat, letting the feet fall open like they naturally do when you're relaxed. Arms are next to the body and palms are up. We're not really breathing in any special way anymore. We're not counting breaths. We're simply just being. We're breathing, inhaling and exhaling. With every breath out, try to relax and sink down into your mat. Set your timer. Please don't skip this part. It's a very important part of a yoga practice as it helps get rid of stress and let the body relax. So again, set your timer for 5 to 7 minutes. And lay here getting all the benefits of breathing deep and being still. Thank you.